Hey, what's going on? This is the very first episode of the Whiteboard Chats. I don't really like the name, but I'm gonna have to roll with it right now because I don't have a better idea or name yet. So that could change. This is gonna be one take. I'm not going to edit, or if I do edit, it's gonna be very minimal, simply because I don't know how to edit. I don't have the time to edit. So if you do know how to edit, or if you are an editor, I'm gonna potentially hire you based off of how good you are at editing. I'm gonna cover understanding macronutrients today. I hope that I don't swear. I might swear in some of these things. If I do, I apologize. I hope it doesn't offend you. I can maybe, if I knew how to edit, I could actually bleep it out, but I don't yet, so give me some time. But with that said, we're talking about understanding macronutrients. I have this conversation with all my clients because it's extremely important when it comes to understanding what you're taking in and losing body fat. So I already touched on it once. The reason why I have people count macronutrients is to have an understanding of what they're consuming on a daily basis. A cool app is Myfitness. It allows you to track your intake. Old school method, you'd have to look on the back of a freaking box of food or whatever it is, and you'd have to write down the numbers for tracking purposes. So now Myfitness makes it much easier. It allows you just to plug and play. You can save meals, and then it allows you to track your whole intake throughout the day. So when people come to me, they're like, oh, I eat healthy. Well, how much are you consuming on a daily basis? And that usually gives a blank stare. People don't have a full understanding. So if that's the case, it then becomes very difficult for them to actually try to lose weight, because the reason is, and very few people will be successful with this, but the reason is it becomes difficult because you don't know what your starting point is. If I was to say, yeah, I eat healthy, where am I going to cut my food from to get into a deficit? Do I cut it at breakfast? Do I cut it at lunch? Do I cut it at dinner? Do I not have a snack? If you don't really have that full understanding, it makes it very difficult to make the adjustments. So the adjustments are key because that's going to allow you to really reach or optimize your body composition the way that you want to. And then allocating these things throughout your daily diet is going to also give you a better opportunity to achieve your body composition. If you take a look, protein's going to do something physiologically different than what carbs are going to do than what fat's going to do. And because of that, you don't want to just eat 2,000 calories of straight carbohydrates or 2,000 calories of straight fat because they're all going to do something a tad different. So the biggest thing that I'll tell you guys is start tracking macronutrients. When you do, you're going to see that certain foods will probably contain 2, if not all 3 of the macros. So if you were to have, I have a Plenty oatmeal yogurt right here. It's got 2 grams of fat, it's got 29 grams of carbs, and it's got 11 grams of protein. So it covers all 3 of these. Now, if you were to add that up or multiply, I should say 2 grams by 9, 11 by 4, and then 29 by 4, you're going to be right around 100, I think it's 178 calories. On here on the back, it says 180. So it basically adds up. If you take all the protein, carbs, and fats, it's going to give you your total calorie amount. So I do think it's important that if you were to eat 2,000 calories a day, that it is broken up specific to you so that you can actually try to put on muscle and decrease body fat, rather than just eating 2,000 calories of carbohydrates. It's not difficult to track. It takes a little bit of front-end work, but if you are really truly dedicated to trying to change, then that front-end work won't be a problem. It should be a piece of cake, to be honest. So, not cheesecake, no pun intended. So that's pretty much it when it comes to understanding macros. I'm purposely leaving out all the little nitty-gritty stuff of tracking, of all the little nitty-gritty stuff of understanding what each one of these does to your body, and really diving into adjustments and how much you should have of all these, simply because that could take a long time and it's going to be different for you versus the other person across the country watching this video as well. If you do have questions, feel free to comment below. I will answer them to the best of my abilities. If you do have any other questions or topics that you would like me to talk about, I will put them here on the board as well, and we'll go through them. I have a whole database of things that I'll be talking about here in the near future, and it's going to be easy for me to pump these out. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I answered some of your questions, or at least provided you some insight on what it is to understanding macronutrients. But feel free to comment below, and I look forward to chatting with you. Thanks.